streaming. Are we streaming? Let's stream. Hooray! Hello, subscribers, patrons, family, fans, followers, supporters, and generally anyone who happens to stumble across my videos. This is Johnston Blackhorse, and this How to Art is a day late. And sorry about that. I've been um, for a couple of days. I've been working on releasing some new BHawk auctions, and those were posted, I believe it was yesterday. And just need to supplement my income because of the somewhat reckless spending I did over the weekend. But it was all for the sake of just letting loose and having fun, which it was, and feel a lot better than I was a few days, on Friday. But I've also been working on this Flash animation, and just a little.
Soon, I will rise in the ranks of great animators and gain the title of Overlord and Commander of this reality. With my vast animation prowess and storytelling capabilities, I will rise in my pursuit to overthrow the Disney Empire. Yes, kneel before your new animations god and rejoice.
And that's about it so far. That's what I've been working on all throughout today. Like I said, yesterday I posted those new BHawk free auctions, and right now I'm just trying to burn through this animation to just get it up, get it released, get it out there, and start hoping it'll just garner some more support and Patreon funding my way. But I don't want to put too many other things off to the side, so I'm going to do this how to art. Let's, I guess, animate. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down and pull up Easytoon. There it is. There it is. Pull it up and shit! I just closed it. I didn't mean to do that. So here's Easytoon. Let me minimize it a little bit, or just hold on. Let me mess with this screen. There we go. That's good. That's good right there. So here's your Easytoon layout. Oh wait, let me get all this in there. And all right. So here's the Easytoon layout. The download for this is in the description below, and it's free to download. It's uh, really basic animation program. And this is what I utilized before I had accessibility to Flash, like way back in the day, and way before. Man, I'm trying to clean my glasses and I smudged them up even more. And before either Photoshop had an actual animation capabilities. So for those individuals who want to learn how to animate but yet don't have the funds needed to purchase animation software, there are free programs out there. But I'm just pulling up Easytoon because it's like one of the first programs I utilized. And it's pretty basic. Give you a little tour of the program here. let's see if I can adjust this screen so I can better show you all the stuff. It's a little too far. Right about there. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Okay, so here we have your various various buttons, and I think the more important buttons, like you got your paint bucket tool, your line tool. You can have a tool that draws parallel lines or yeah, something of that nature. So you draw one line, and all the subsequent lines that you put down afterwards are all parallel. And you've got your little shape making tools. You got your rectangle, which just makes rectangles, or you got this rectangle fill, which gives you a filled in rectangle. Same thing with the ellipse tool. You got just a circle or a filled in circle. And you got a text tool, which I've never really used before. You know, never used it. And these are all your like painting and design tools that you utilize that you utilize in the program, like when you start working with more advanced stuff. But then here you have your these are your fills, and these are like different tones. You got going from, I'm assuming this is 0%, 3%, 6.25%, and it goes all the way to these different percents until you got 100% tone. So if you select one of these, I'm going to select the 56.25, and that's where your paint bucket or your fill tool comes in. But that's like pretty advanced stuff when you're like perhaps like working with backgrounds, or like you want your characters to have like a certain tone to them. But that's like way like stuff way in the future. Right now we're like just gonna be animating like a little uh, ball animation. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new um, make a new uh, I don't even know what to call it now. Well, I'm gonna select new, hit yes, wait, no. File, new, save changes to untitled? No. And it's gonna give me various options to pick from. And this is just gonna be pretty basic, so I'm just gonna go with the 4x3, 360 by 270. Hit OK. And here you got your zoom feature up here, so you can zoom into the stage. That's what I meant to say. Stage. You can zoom into it or zoom out. So I'm gonna go ahead and like zoom in. Just have a decent sized stage here, and gonna just animate like a simple like bouncing ball coming in from the screen off to the side here. So I'm gonna take the circular tool and just click and drag and just get a bit of a circle here. And to get like a perfect circle, you hold shift as you click and drag. And then here's your frame tool, advance one frame, and like you see that it has a plus sign on it. So it advances one frame, and it has like this automatic like onion skin type function where you can see your previous frame. And I'm going to go ahead and draw another circle, somewhat roughly the same size as the previous one. And to make this easier, I think I'll go ahead and uh, copy this frame, make a new one, paste, and oh shit, wait. It's been a while since I've used this thing, so Oops. Okay. Just pastes the whole thing. And that's good. That's, oh wow. You know what? That's, that's too tedious. I'm just going to go ahead and just make new circles. Just more or less the same size. New frame. And like, as this ball is falling, it's going to fall a little bit faster. So the space in between each frame, like the distance between each uh, circle after it appears, it's gonna like become more spaced apart. And down here you have your like a navigation type, kind of like going through the timeline of your animation. So as you can see, it's the ball has that illusion of falling a little bit faster as it gets closer to the ground. Put another one right there. And let's say that it hits the ground right about here. No, that's a little too close. Right there. Have a little squash and stretch action. And when it bounces back up, it's going to bounce back quick. Let me pull this off to the side a little bit more. Well, I think I want it to, whoops, stretch it a little bit. Does it have a, oh, there it is. Oh. Whoops, damn it. Trying to rotate it here. Let's do the same thing to this previous one. Oh wait. When doing your marquee tool, the marquee tool is right next to the pencil tool, and you have your marquee effects here. Select a non-uniform scale, select a uniform scale. So I'm going to select a non-uniform scale because I'm going to squash and stretch it. So selecting the circle, squishing it a bit, just to get that squash and stretch or smear type animation. Then going to select and rotate. So select that and rotate it. So we get that effect that it's coming in at that angle. Boing. So new frame, select the circle tool again. Oh yeah, got a whole shift. Whoops. Oh, not sure if it really matters. Alright, there we go. I wonder if I can copy it this way. So copy, new frame, paste. Oh, sweet, look at that. That's easier. New frame, paste. Now as I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep in mind the arc that the ball is bouncing into. New frame, paste. And when the ball starts going up into its arc, it's going to slow down. So the frames for the ball is going to become a little more clustered. Oh, hey, Carl. Or Carl. Sorry. What's up, Cal? Cal Larkin just entered. New frame. Paste. So right here, the after the ball bounces, it's up in the air and it's about to reach its zenith point. So as I go through the timeline, you can see that when it's close to the ground, it's getting closer to terminal velocity, let's say. So it's starting to speed up, but then it hits the ground, it squashes, and then it bounces back up, and you got like a that stretch there. And then as it's reaching its next arc, it just it begins to slow down before it starts coming back to Earth again. New frame, paste, and these frames are going to be like pretty close together until it starts coming back down. New frame, paste. So right here, like the ball is at its highest point, so it's pretty much leveled off. And then new frame, paste. It's going to start coming back down. And as it's coming back down, it's going to ease out of that arc and start falling back down to the ground, to the earth, to the floor, to the window, to the wall, till the sweat drips off, drips off my balls. No, no, it's terrible. Knock it off. New frame, paste. So this is just like an exercise to like teach yourself the fundamentals of animation, timing, spacing, squash and stretch. So if you want to like recreate this practice, like do it, do it. Oh, and here you can I should have pointed these out earlier. In the buttons up here next to the zoom button, um, you have uh, like this. It toggles your like onion layers, and you can show like three frames prior, 4 frames prior, and just you can just keep going with it. You know, just to keep track of like your movement. I should have selected that earlier, but again, it's been a while since I've opened this program. Feels a little nostalgic. Next frame, paste. So as this ball is falling out of its recent arc, it's going to start picking up speed. And here, let me increase the amount of, there we go. Here's where it's going to start doing its little, oh wait, a little squash and stretch again. Gotta get the angle just right. There we go. Next frame, paste. and make sure that we're, yeah, that's pretty close. And next frame, paste it again. Whoops. Oh, damn it. New frame, paste. So with each bounce, like the ball is going to start losing its velocity. So after each bounce, like the ball's not going to go as high as it was before. And depending on how heavy you want to portray the bouncing ball, um, you can have it bounce as high as you want, but each bounce, like it's gonna keep getting lower and lower. Like so, if it was made out of rubber, like it would bounce pretty high and then like continue bouncing until it finally rolls to a stop. But if it were like a bowling ball, like the bounce would be very minimal, so it would just hit the ground, come up ever so slightly, touch the ground again, and just like slow down to a roll. So like not only is the this little exercise like a practice in um, timing, spacing, squash and stretch, but also just the weight value of the object that you're animating. So here in this animation, I'm just demonstrating how you would animate like a somewhat of a regular like ball made out of rubber or just a regular bouncy ball. Whatevs. So here it starts reaching its next arc pretty quickly. Like reaching that zenith point, and at which it begins to top off at its at the highest point of its of this little bounce. Whoops. Ah, nuts. Damn it. Undo. Oh, shoot, it didn't undo it. Ah, hell. Okay. I forgot to hit next frame and then I pasted it in the same frame again. So again, like when it reaches that high point, like the frames are going to be pretty close together. And then as it's coming out of the top of that arc, it's going to start speeding up once more. And because of that, it'll be spaced out a little bit more. And since And since it's slowing down, the squash and stretch, if any, is going to be very, very small. Probably not squash that much, but stretch it a little more. Yeah, don't even think I need to rotate it. And since it's not hitting the ground that hard, the stretch or the squash isn't going to be as intense as it was in the previous frames. And now, since it's slowing down coming out of this other bounce, like it's just going to go ahead and leave out the squash and stretch. So at this point, the ball is beginning to lose a lot of the momentum it had. Whoops, damn it, I did it again. Maybe I'll just delete that. Can I delete it? No, I don't want to delete the frame. I'll just erase it. Whoops. There we go. And, to erase, right now, when I'm using the pen tool, I don't know what other settings this computer has on it, but every time I try to use the right click function on my pen, it just does the left click. I don't know what's going on. So when I'm trying to erase, like I have to use the mouse, and to erase, you just hit the right click because you draw with the left click button. But then when you want to erase, you just right click. So next frame, paste that sucker in. There we go. We decrease the amount of frames I can see. Next frame, paste. Next frame. And as you can see, this ball has lost a lot of its momentum and velocity, so it's not bouncing that high at all anymore. So in this next little round, there's not going to be any squash and stretch at all. Oh, hey, Skippy. And I'm just going to add like a very little bounce to this last one. Come on. Trying to get it right on the money. May as well just zoom in. But then, man. Okay. Next frame, paste. Bring this guy all the way in here. Because right now, like I'm anim I'm animating it as if it's still got a little momentum, so it's not bouncing anymore, it's just rolling. Till it comes to a complete stop. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole frame and just paste this a little bit for a few more frames just to get that sense that the ball has come to a stop. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the beginning of the animation and insert a frame. Whoops. Huh. Be careful. Like you got these three other buttons up here next to this play button. You have insert frame, delete frame, and clear frame. Now when you hit insert frame, it's going to insert a frame previous to the frame that you're on. So when I hit insert, we start out with a blank frame. And the next frame, that's where the animation is going to begin. So if we go ahead and hit the play button, it should bring up another window where we can just preview our animation. And be careful like that you're zoomed in to like whatever like zoom that you want to be in, because the uh, play window is going to preview the zoom size that you're at. So I'm going to hit play, and here we have our little ball animation, little bouncing ball. And just to show you that whole zoom thing, play it again. Here it exports. So yeah, you see. So if you're zoomed in a lot, your like preview window is going to be huge. I can't remember what duration was about. Duration of 4. Oh, the duration is the milliseconds frame exposure per frame. So if we increase this to, I don't know, let's say 60. Frame time exposure, 60 milliseconds per frame. When we play that, that's still the same. I don't know what's going on. I guess the default is 10. Huh. Let's see, let's just throw this on the desktop. Um, Easytoon. Hmm. So I wonder. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this whole default frame time exposure and the frame time exposure. Why it just keeps kicking back to defaults if I want to mess with the duration. Maybe that's something I had to play with before I started out, but I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, that's how you animate a bouncing ball in just Easytoon. And you can do like a lot of wacky stuff with Easytoon. Like if for those fans of my Natus underscore 01 persona, um, those who followed along closely with my artwork, I believe that some of you would remember some of the Easytoon animations, the lowly Easytoon animations I've done in the past, and not sure if they're still in my downloaded collections that people have been collecting over the years, but I hope they are. If not, that'd be a shame because I had some pretty impressive stuff if I remember. Like there was one where um, a girl jumped onto the screen and did like a little twirl and then slid down, did the splits, and there are other various Easytoon animations I made, and I don't think some of them ever got published because they were just like anatomy studies. And like I've stated before, like sometimes I would mess around with like I guess camera angles and pans and stuff. But yeah, so I wish I still had those animations, but I might start doing like little Easytoon animations, maybe just to inspire other people. But right now, like this, if you followed along with this video and you want to create your own like little rough animations to just learn the ins and outs of how to animate, if you don't have access to like some of the more expensive programs like maybe Photoshop or Adobe Animate, this is the program I used to just more or less when I first started and just like taught myself how to animate, and I utilized it until someone was able to get me a version of Flash, or until I was able to use it, use Flash at work and Photoshop at work. And right now, I invested in the Adobe Cloud, which is awesome. But for those who can't get access to any of those programs, like Easytoon it's free, it's easy to use once you uh, get to learn all the tools and stuff. And if you want to learn how to become an animator, like Easytoon is probably like one of the easiest programs you can begin with to just teach you the ins and outs, like I said, of uh, your timing, spacing, squash and stretch, and just all those basic elements. But yeah, I recommend you like give it a shot if you have that ambition to just like go out and just you know teach yourself. Easytoon's the quick and easy way to just get started. And I guess I may as well save this as something, but I'll do that later. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up for another live stream for uh, my regularly scheduled sketchbook tour. So I'll go ahead and start closing out this stream and get the next one started. So anyway, for those, thanks to those who jumped in on the chat, even though there wasn't much to chat about. I was just up here just teaching, doing my thing. So thanks for saying what's up, Cal Larkin and Skippy, aka Concept Sama. And to those who are watching this video later, if you want to support the creation of more tutorial videos like this and more art content from me, I do have a Patreon webpage. The link is in the description section below. Visit my Patreon. There's a lot of free content there. If you like what you see, then go ahead and consider clicking that Become a Patron button. And if Patreon's not your thing, I also have a GoFundMe account. Those links will be in the description below. And if you want to check out um, my life or whatever, I got an autobiographical blog, and I'm also a member of DeviantArt, for Affinity, and Ink Bunny. So if you're a member of any of those websites, you can start watching me or following me, and you can drop me a comment or a note, say what's up, or just ask me a few questions, perhaps make a request. I still got to get through a small batch of requests. Yeah, maybe I'll get to it sometime this week. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if you found it either motivational or informative, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe in order to be notified of other like new videos I come out with. I guess ring that bell too. I don't know. Ring my bell. I'll ring your bell. Clean your clock. No, that's silly. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and like always, I'll check y'all later. Bye.